Mabuhay! Welcome tourists! Today I will be touring you around the heritage sites and structures inside the Argao World Complex. I am Bimijin Surador and I will be your tour guide for today. Let's go!
The Hall of Justice or former Corte. The building was known as the Colegio de los Niños during the Spanish period. The building functioned as the school for boys and was the tallest civilian structure in the province. By design, the building should have been a quartel but it was not finished due to the onset of the Filipino revolution against Spain. This became a military barracks during the World War II, later converted into a tobacco plantation during the early American period. Also functioned briefly as the first building of Argao Central Elementary School, known as the Intermediate. It was converted into the Star Theater after war and showed film during weekends. This building became the Argao Parents Teacher Association or APTA building before it became a trial court, left side MTC and right side artist. It burned down accidentally in 1962 by a firecracker or critics and renovated in 1983. This was restored in 2016 through the efforts of former Chef Justice Hilario Gilbolingo David Jr., who is from Calawin, Argao, Cebu. He also graduated here. Casa Real or the Municipal Hall. It is hard to determine when the Casa Real was built. Its architectural design is typically residential based on a post and beam. Structure with no supporting walls, it could have been built before or after the rendition was fortified. Casa means house, while real means royal. Casa Real means house of the royals. The lower part was used as a jail during the World War II, while the upper part was a voting area during the American period. It has two big pillars made up from hardwood such as mole. 90% wood, 5% metal, 5% stone. 99 wooden nails and 1% metal nails. One of the oldest intact municipal halls in the province of Cebu. The stairway from the first floor to the second floor is 10-step stairway called the Paso Man or the march while being given respect. Its huge window is made up of hardwood trees which were used for passive cooling. Gates and walls of the Church of Plaza Complex. The gates and walls of the Plaza Complex had overhead beams wide enough to allow sentries to walk across. Sentinels could walk on top of it. The former courtyard. It was the first Spanish-era cemetery. It was collected beside the Gospel of the Church. It used to have its own perimeter wall and a little chapel. It served as the municipal cemetery until around 1850. Father Pedro Hernandez, who was the parish priest from 1835 to 1857, constructed a new and more spacious cemetery outside the church or plaza complex. He died in Argao on September 26, 1862. The mortuary or Capella Mortuarium, also known as the Chapel of Dead. Its original purpose was to have deceased Argawanons laid in state for the vigil prior of the funeral. During the Spanish period, the dead were not buried in a coffin, they were wrapped in banana leaves or mats to cover the corpse and later on brought to the mortuary on a bamboo stretcher where a cassette was available to lay them. After the vigil, the deceased was carried to the cemetery for the funeral where the body was interred. The used cassette was then returned to the mortuario. In the early years of the mortuario, only the non-baptized were laid in state there while the baptized were brought to the chapel in the courtyard at the gospel side of the church. Was used as a leprosarium before when leprosy became a plague in Argao. The facade is divided into two parts, light, right, and death, left. The scale carving means each one of us here on earth has time to die, and we will either go to heaven or hell. Sally Argao. Its scientific name is Phrenma oderata. It is believed to be the origin of the town's name Argao, with story dating far back before the Spanish era. This tree is believed to have given the town its identity to the colonizers. It also possesses highly medicine values. Parts of the tree may be used as remedies for stomach pains, skin diseases, and fever. It is also known as the Agbao and Alagaw. The San Miguel Arcangel Church, established by the Ogonians in October 16, 1733. The first parish priest of Argao was Father Ignacio de Olalde. The construction started in 1734 and ended 54 years later in 1788. Finishing touches to the church as it looks today were made between the years 1803 to 1836 during the stewardship of Father Mateo Perez. The roofing of the church was renovated in year 1876, 1924, and 1988. The church features many treasures, most of which date back to the mid 700s, including the Argao century-old pipe organ, designed by Mexican organ artists but built by Argawanon hands in the 1700s, and one of the 14 built in the Philippines during the Spanish period, and one of the 3 remaining intact pipe organ in the Philippines today has 700 pipes and capable of 22 different kinds of songs, 5 intricate altars, murals on the ceiling depicting various scenes from the Bible done by the famous Visayan artist Canuto Avella and Raimundo Francia in the early 20th century. Saint Michael carving represent one of the traditional Roman Catholic beliefs, the angel of death carrying the souls of all the degrees to heaven. In this rule, at the hour of death, Saint Michael descends and gives its soul to the chance to redeem itself before passing, thus concertaining the devil and his minions. Via crosses. It is also called as the way to the cross on coral stone carvings. These are the last two remaining via crosses of its kind in the Philippines. It features four capillas posas or stop stations where the press and the faithful stop to pray during special church occasions. These were not part of the original plan of the church. It has the four station of the Via Dolorosa or the Passion of the Christ. It has four capellas posas starting with Saint Michael, Saint Gabriel, Saint Raphael, and Mother Mary. In the early times, devotees were kneeling during the prayer and stands every capella's posas. The outer part of the wall all around depicts numerous variations of curtains like motifs.
Once again, I am Bibi Sodor and mabuhay!